Welcome to the Messy Medium podcast. I'm your host, the Messy Medium herself, Tara Cecilia. I'm a tea connoisseur, intuitive psychic medium, and a lifestyle and business coach for individuals looking to create their most luxe legacies. I'm here to spill the tea on life, death, legacy, and everything in between. In this podcast, we're not afraid to get a little messy. All right, tonight, which is like every time I read, because these have been like my go-tos, I'm reading with Denise Jarvie's The Secret Language of Light deck. This has been a go-to of mine for a while. I think it might be going on like 3 years, which is amazing. So I really have a bond to this deck. I'm also reading with Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestor Oracle deck. Another one of my favorites. I've had this one a couple months, and it had been calling out to me for a lot longer, but I finally took the plunge and bought it, and I'm so glad I did. And then I am reading with, this is the newest deck. I started reading with this last week or 2 weeks ago. Earth and Bone Oracle Cards by Syrian Shadow. So those are the three decks that I am reading with tonight. I gotta say, TBH, I was feeling very grumpy prior to this live. I don't know why. I am not a person who is like a grumpy gills. And I was feeling very grumpy leading up to this. I don't understand why, but literally as soon as I got in front of the camera here and in front of my decks and everything, I was like much more at peace. So I'm thinking there's probably a message that is needing to be delivered, and it was just causing me some kind of irritation. Or maybe you're feeling some kind of irritation or anxiety, and, you know, Spirit's just validating that, like, there's something in the air. There's probably something going on in the astros. So, I'm going to start. Everything here is intended for your greater good. I do not predict the future. The cards help align you with your highest self, your highest path, the best path for you. Time is not linear, so things may make sense. They may not make sense. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and, you know, be open to receiving messages here today. I'm going to ask you all to take a deep breath with me. I feel like we need that. So just the in through your nose, out through your mouth birthday candle situation. I want two more. One more. I feel calmer already. Just, you know, be open to what the angels, guides, celestial beings, you know, spirits have to say for you today. For the week, you know, or what message just needs to come through. I don't like to like limit things to just being like this week's reading, because like I said, time is not linear. So I do not know, or we do not know rather, if that message is really intended just for 1 week. Why should we limit it to a week? Why? I don't think so. All right, I'm starting to pull now with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. I'm torn between 3 and 5 cards tonight. I think I'm gonna go 5. You know, I'm just a more is better person. All right. So to start here, I pulled the arrow and it actually came up reversed for me. So surround yourself with protective energy. It was pointing at me. I feel like I need to take that personally. The arrow was pointing towards me. Now, I think this is just something we genuinely need to do. And I feel like, and this is like kind of making sense now with why I was feeling so like kind of grumpy. that protect your peace. Protect your peace. That is not happening at the level it needs to. It feels like new experiences, new opportunities are, opening you up to a different plane, a different field, a different area. And with that, we need to level up our protection. So surround yourself with protective energy is what's being asked of us. Really you're kind of more exposed, you're more vulnerable, and it's time to kind of evaluate, are all our safeguards in place? Not to a point where we're not going to allow things to happen, that we're blocking things off, but just protecting our peace, setting boundaries, cutting people off if they need to be cut off. It's just kind of asking you to protect your peace. It feels personal to me, to be honest, but I think a lot of people could resonate with that. Next, I got the Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. This is a common thread of conversation that happens here, specifically in my lives. Fear, desire, preventing ourselves from achieving our best lives. The only person who truly is in the way is you. Your circumstances, yes, they make things harder. Sometimes people around us make things really much harder. But who I find reoccurring in readings and even personally in my own development, who makes things the hardest for myself? Me. And it kind of gets lost. I let my fears get in the way and my desires get muddled out. So I sometimes don't even have the specific, I don't know even specifically what I'm afraid of. So I think this is what this card is asking us to do. Track down those fears and desires. What specifically are you afraid of? Because sometimes it's already happened and that's why we're afraid of it. Well, most of the time it can't happen again. You're already afraid of it. You can't be re-afraid of it. It could just be reiterated. Track it down, break it down, and eliminate it. And track down those desires and ask yourself, really, what do you stand for? What do you really want? There's a difference between want and need. And desire is asking you what you want. Because sometimes you need to stop and ask yourself, what do you need? But this is specifically asking you, what do you want? Next is the Air Guardian, which says shift your perception. Which I feel is actually pairing up really nice with the Hunter. Shift your perception. We constantly talk about this. I think it's so easy to get stuck in a negative cycle or just that spiral, that thought spiral. And this card is again just asking us to shift our perception on, I think, these fears and desires. Why are you afraid of things and why do you want things? Specific, opportunities, relationships, things, etc. And why don't you have them? Shift your perception on why those are not things that you have obtained. And how can you make them attainable? Next is the Stag. Trust and thrive. I love how this is going, this first part of the reading, because the next card is choose your path. And the one before it was shift your perception. It's literally telling us the story of how tracking down our fears and desires, shifting our perspective, surrounding ourselves in a, protective energy. Trust and thrive in yourself, in the universe, in the people that you specifically pick to be around you who you know are beneficial for you. Trust and thrive in that and choose your path. It's giving us, protect yourself, remove who is hurting you, who is not serving you, who you leave being around, not feeling the best, or situations you leave not feeling the best when you're having spent time there with them. Love it. Love it, love it. I'm now pulling with the Earth and Bone Oracle deck, and the cards are already just like, oh my god, just really just calling us out here. Interesting. Okay. So, I really feel like tonight is about outside energies, people, places, things having too much say over our emotional states and how we're feeling and our goals and our going after our goals and keeping us in a state of fear. So the next pull from the Earth and Bone deck, the first card that came out was Beast, which is conflict, competition, arguments, aggression, tension, oppressors. And that was under surround yourself with protective energy. I think this is basically Spirit saying you're feeling this way because you are not protecting yourself. You are not protecting your peace. You are not protecting your person. You're not protecting your energy. This is keeping you in a cycle, and it's keeping you in this like beast state of self when tracking down your fears and your desires is going to help you to tap into your inner strength, clarity, focus, receptiveness, presence. It's going to allow you to step into like that main, role in your life, Leo, the sun, shining that way. And that was underneath the Hunter, so I think that's really interesting that it's like we need to focus, inner clarity, focus here. Shift your perception, right? We talked about this. Water Guardian. Underneath that, Portal. Shift your perception. You're literally like going through a new way of thinking about things. Originality, idealism, progression, opening, ascending. Literally, ascending is like a whole other perception. It's like a whole other way of thinking about things. And just go, open the door for your, one door opens and not two other open, one door closes, two open. Yeah, that saying. Go through the portal. Go, allow yourself to step through. Step into that new you. Step into that new way of thinking. Change your mindset. Take the risk. Track down your fears and desires and change your mindset. Take the risk and change your mindset. You will be rewarded. The next is to stand. Courage, determination, fearlessness. It's what we're asking of you. Have the courage. Have the determination. Have the fearlessness. Like when I look at this, lions are like so fearless to me. Trust and thrive that your courage, determination, and fearlessness will reward you, and you can cultivate and create the life that you want. And this is feeling very much like we need to stop letting these outside voices have so much control. Why are we letting them have so much control? Why are we letting ourselves be the prey? Why are we not being the hunter? Next is the sorcerer. Ambition, determination, willpower, creation, focus. Again, with I think it's supposed to be a moon, but moon, sun, be the main focus in your life. Cultivate, be the sorcerer and cultivate the life that you want. It's been a theme all week in my readings, certain people need to be removed from our lives. It's been the theme all week. And I think it's just being reiterated, and not just people, literally people in your life, but even just social circles or social situation. We do not need to subject ourselves to things that we do not enjoy. For what? You don't feel good, and then it's going to have a effect, a ripple effect on your life. Next, I'm going to pull with my secret language, but I always forget the name of this. It's my favorite one. The Secret Language of Light deck. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Sounds so ominous. I like where this is kind of going. I was kind of getting this vibe, and I was like, that feels very specific. Like, maybe I'll say it, maybe I won't. And I really am trying not to limit myself on what I say when I'm just speaking, like, intuitively. But I was like, I don't know. But I really felt like it had to do with family. I really felt like there were family members that were probably influencing people, making them not feel good. Limit that. And it can also be like people that you've had in your life for so long that they feel like family. You can choose your own soul family. You can have your chosen family, and you're probably going to be living your authentic truth, which is the next card, once you decide to tap into that inner strength, to really focus on just because they're blood doesn't mean that they're serving you in the best way possible. Honestly, sometimes they're serving you in the worst way possible. And it's okay to decide that you cause too much conflict in my life. You cause too much aggression. You cause too much arguments between me and other people in my family, between me and my partner. It's all right to set up those boundaries that it's not working for you, that can lead you more towards your authentic truth, because that's what you deserve to live. I get this card almost every week when I do live polls. So again, that's just like the overall arching message for the collective, is like needing to make the decisions and aligning ourselves in a way that our authentic truth gets to be revealed and we get to live in that state. Next, through underneath portal, originality, idealism, opening and ascending, right? Which is under Air Guardian, shift your perception. I have insight. I think even just considering to shift how we think about things, that insight is going to illuminate for you that there's so much more that you deserve, and that you can obtain by making the decisions to protect your peace and making the decisions to only align yourself, like ruthlessly align yourself with what serves you the best. And just having those uncomfortable conversations internally, like, how does this make me feel? Is this something I actually want to continue to do? Is this actually a person I continually want to associate myself with? Because it may not be. And I think through that, we got enlightenment. I think that through that insight, there will be enlightenment. That's underneath this. You're going to have to take, this is the stand. This came up in the row before. That you're going to have to take a stand about what you believe. And I just got this. It feels like coming up in the political climate almost. It feels like for some people that it's going to play a role, because I don't like to talk about politics on here, but I do feel like it's going to be another couple years of like major division, and people might be losing some family members and friends, and you're going to have to take a stand about what you believe in and what you expect and how you expect to be treated, just on a basic level, but also like what you consume in social media and online and around people. What you're like, actually I'm not going to have that conversation with you, or I don't want to be around that conversation. I don't want my child around that type of conversation or, topics. But kind of looking in like, what am I afraid of? What do I want? That insight and enlightenment on really what's going to lead you to your authentic truth. And ultimately, at the end here, what I've got was, there is only light. Because that is just a constant reminder, just like from the universe and from spirit and everything, that things can seem really dark, they can seem really depressing, they can seem like really I feel like you're trapped, like mentally feel like, what do I even need to do? What decision? Just make the first move. Because no matter what you do, there is only light. You are only being guided towards the best outcome. And why would we continually ignore that and be like, I don't know where the light switch is, when we know where the light switch is? I'm just going to fumble around in the dark. It's like, just turn the light on. Just turn the light on so you can actually get this done. Instead of straining here, there is only light. Let there be light. Let that into your life. Get rid of the dark. Get rid of the things that are bogging you down, the people that are bogging you down, the situations that are bogging you down. Don't live your life doing things you don't want to do. And I'm not saying don't quit your job today. I'm not saying that. Something you're like, I don't want to go to work, so Tara said I can quit my job. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you want to quit your job, make a plan. You can make a plan to better yourself, to better your life, and align yourself with what's your authentic truth. But you can cultivate and create and select how you want things to be for you, or how you are going to respond to things that you don't necessarily like so much. The beast. What people are saying, you can choose to not let this negativity that people bring to you have so much impact on you, which goes back to the first card that I pulled, surround yourself with protective energy. The message and lesson, I think, this week that we all needed, me included. Now, truth, just honestly, I haven't eaten dinner yet. So that is all the reading I am going to do for this week. But I look forward to seeing you all next week. And fun thing, I'm actually recording this with my podcast mic. So if you missed this, which I don't know if you got this far, but they are also going to be available on my podcast, my weekly polls. So if you want to re-listen to it, but you don't want to watch the video on Instagram, you can go to my podcast, The Messy Medium, which is on Spotify, Apple, Iheart Radio, and on YouTube, coming to Google, and re-listen to it there. Because again, time is not linear. This message may apply when you hear it again in the future. Thank you all so much. I'm sending you so much love. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning into the Messy Medium podcast. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and follow wherever you're listening from. You can find me, the Messy Medium, on all social media platforms under the handle Tara Cecilia. If you'd like to book an intuitive reading, consult session, or explore my coaching containers, please find the direct link to those services and more in the show notes. Until next time, stay blessed, babes.